The holiday season is here, and if you plan on traveling, then you'll want to make sure that you're updated on the new airport rules and guidelines. And here with what we need to know is Executive Editor of Condé Nast Traveler, Erin Florio. Erin, good to see you, and thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's talk about these new rules that the U.S. Department of Transportation has put in place, especially when it comes to flight and air travel.
Yes, so I think the first one is actually a victory for passenger rights, which, we'll take what we can get. So effective last week, new TSA regulations went into effect that said every time there are severe delays or a canceled flight, automatically all passengers will get a full refund. This is a huge deal because if you remember in the past, the airlines, it was up to the airlines to determine who was and wasn't eligible for a refund. And now that the TSA has gone ahead and said they've mandated this, it means that, you don't have to fight anymore. You're guaranteed this refund. And I think, best of all, in the past, the airline would only really give a refund if it was their fault. But this new regulation says that if weather factors in, if there are things outside of the airline's control, they will also have to give a refund. Plus, you're going to get it within 7 days.
All right, let's talk about baggage fees and regulations, especially when you're flying to and from the European Union.
Yes, sure. So this is actually not a new rule. It's a reinstated old rule, but really important to know about because I think something travelers can all agree on is that we've, really disliked the limitations on liquids when you're carrying on your luggage. Unfortunately, the EU was set to get rid of those limitations. They've had to reinstate them based on faulty scanners that they've put through the airports. So it was supposed to change in June 2024. In September of 2024, they had to reverse that. So if you are traveling through the EU and the UK, please make sure to keep regulating your liquids.
They're also cracking down on gate lice. This is when people sort of jump the line and board in zones that are not their zones.
Yes, it's a horrible term. I think we can all agree on it. Nobody likes, when people are jumping the gate and they're trying to get onto the plane before they're supposed to be. And American Airlines is actually regulating a new process which will make an alarm sound if you scan the boarding pass. Yeah, it's not your boarding time. Your boarding pass scans, an alarm will sound, and basically it's kind of public shaming at the gate.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, so I think it's really going to make people, look twice about accidentally boarding too early.
All right, what about accommodations when it comes to Airbnb?
Yes, sure. So I think most people are aware that, short-term rentals there's a lot of, constant regulation happening with short-term rentals. A lot of news has broken out in this space recently. So Barcelona, of note, has become the first city to say that they're going to stop all short-term rentals by 2029, which is a huge deal because that's a
big deal.
It's a big deal because it's a huge part of the industry for the traveler. And then there are other countries, other cities such as Vienna, Vancouver, they've changed the regulation. But I think one of the biggest ones that went into effect last year is New York City put into place some of the tightest regulations, which said that you were no longer eligible to rent out your secondary accommodations. And if you were going to put anything on the short-term rental market, the host had to be present in the house at the entire time, which is very bizarre. I think most people are used to getting a short-term rental and it feels like it's their own.
Right. That's a little weird when you're sometimes staying with the host.
Yeah, and I do think the one thing to remember is that the regulations differ market to market. So please make sure wherever you're traveling to, you check up on the regulations for that destination.
And I do want to put you on the spot. Do you think we'll see an uptick in travel after the election?
I mean, it's hard to say no.
Everybody
I think
could use a break, right?
Everybody can always use a break, and I think now is as good a time as ever, maybe even better, to get on a plane and go somewhere lovely.
Erin Florio, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it. Good to see you.
Thank you.